Hello everyone. Yeah, today I'm back here again, and I just want to kind of talk about anything actually. Last week I messed. My plan was just okay. I will post a YouTube video every single week, and it's okay if it's short. It just has to be there out there. But last week I was just learning for my maths exam, and tomorrow is my maths exam, but I'm still here because I just took the chance to come and talk. And we're gonna talk about anything else. We're just gonna talk about, just the threads posts that I'm doing recently, like posting. And I'm pretty sure I'm like helping some people, kind of, because what I'm posting there is pretty valuable, I'd say, for myself. If I was like few years ago, if I would like go and like search for like writing tips and advices, and if those kind of advices came, I'd be pretty like happy about it because I needed it a lot, but I just never really found advices that were like simple, and I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible for everyone. So we're just gonna talk about it. Like, I'm gonna explain it a little more. You're gonna read it, and we're just gonna. I'm just gonna try to explain it at my best. So I just opened the tab. We're just gonna start reading every one of those. We're just gonna start here. People ask when they should. Yeah, just like I said, just like I wrote, it's just there's like two kind of editing things that I do. First, it's just like editing while writing. Like during writing, you have like, you're like writing and you mess up, and you just edit it. It's important for the plot. Then you should edit at the moment. You should not wait for, later. And that's what I meant by it. But then there's another one which is mostly grammars and wording and those kind of stuff. It's okay. They can wait. They can wait for later, and you don't have to just go ahead and fix it all because you're not gonna publish it right at the moment. The first draft is just for you. Exactly. It's just for you to know your story. And for me, when I write my first draft, it's just for me to know what I want from the story, for me to know the plot, for me to know the characters. That's what I mean by it. And yeah, it just doesn't need to be perfect, just like I said here. And yeah, the best advice I've ever got is just write. It's somewhere I have here. Yeah, just like this. You just have to start writing whatever you have in mind, whatever ideas you have in mind, whatever story lines you have in mind. Like, if that makes any sense, you just start writing. Don't think what other people will think about the story. Just write for yourself. Are you gonna read the story if you were the one who hadn't written it? Because for me, I like to write stories that I like to read. And it's for some people, when they become writers, it's just the biggest reason for them to become writers is just they wanted to read the kind of story that they're writing, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of same with me. I just wanted to read those stories, and that's why I'm writing them. And yeah, just writing is the best advice for someone who wants to write. Okay, the wording's really bad, but I hope you understood. Okay, when I'm stuck and have writer's block. Writer's block is real. because sometimes like you open a document and you don't have any words coming, and you're just sitting there for like 10 minutes and you don't have any ideas, nothing basically. And you kind of feel like, oh, it's a waste of time. What am I doing here? I just it's wasted my time. You know, the best way to kind of to get rid of it, or more like to overcome it, if that makes any sense, is just reading. Reading is the best thing you can do, mate. If you are writing, or in general, you're gonna learn so much from reading. Reading is gonna give you so many ideas, and yeah, I just love movies. I just love movies, and watching movies has helped me so much. It's just I can really visualize more if I watch a movie, and I take inspiration from it, and it just helps me so much. So whatever is the best for you, you go ahead and do it, and don't think about, oh, this is not good or whatever. It's at the end of the day, you want to be the one that's going to write the book. And if you don't like writing your book, then the readers might not like reading it. So, like, enjoy writing the process of writing that book, because it's like such a great experience to be in the moment of where you're like writing books. Sometimes I take off like after one book, and it just, for like, I do write every single day. I am trying to write every single day, consistently, being consistent. But sometimes it just, sometimes when I'm not writing, I just think about like those days where I had like a clear story in my mind, a clear like storyline I had in mind, and I kind of envy the time where I had it, where I had like a clear book that I wanted to write. And right now I'm just enjoying writing it, because it's just one of the coolest feelings ever. And yeah, that's what I meant by it. Yeah, I've had a lot of people like being so kind to me in these comments, saying that I should go and find like a writing buddy, and like places where I can go and talk to people. I did not mean it by, like nobody listens to me. No, it's not like that. It's just, I just wanted to be clear with the fact that it's okay that people don't want to. It's just normal, And it's not like always like that, Sometimes I just sit with my father or with my mother, and they just read them, whatever, my storyline, and they're pretty supportive. They give me tips, advices, because it's just so cool to have, like, their experiences and their like ideas involved in this story that I'm creating. And I just review them. I just say, okay, does it suit my story, and does it really help with the plot? And if it does, I'm gonna add it, because it's everything in this world is an idea. Every single thing that you do. And you can always take ideas. You can always take inspiration, ideas, motivation from every single thing. And the cool thing is that dreaming doesn't cost. So you can always, ideas are free. So I just take them. And yeah, it's so kind of people coming here and like telling me to find like writing buddy and like joining writing group and those kind of stuff. It's pretty good, yes, of course. But I think for me, it's just like they're so kind, but for me, it's just writing is such a personal thing for me, and it's just such a like it's kind of a rest time for me, you know. And if I do it, I just want no one there. I just go into another room and just start writing, and that's it. And I sometimes I need 10 minutes, sometimes I need an hour, and it's just my time, you know. And of course, there's like times where I just want, you know, people to listen to my stories, and that's why I have threads. Like mostly, I just give like, you know, advices and tips and my experience and document my journey there. But sometimes when I'm like planning to kind of also write my story, you know, the book that I'm writing, kind of write, you know, plots or whatever, just, you know, for them to kind of, you know where I am right now, at, you know, at what stage I am right now. But it's like I, yeah, just like I said, it's, yeah, this comment is so good. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Oh, I haven't answered this. I'm gonna answer it later. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's just so good to have like people from your own niche kind of be, you know, so supportive towards you. So good. But yeah, then there's another one. Yeah, just like I said, you know, character is the most important thing in your book. The story is, of course, but the story is about the character. So the more interesting the character is, the more interesting the story will be. Because imagine your character doing, like, they have, of course, a past, but what they're gonna do afterwards in the future is what will be your story, you know, if that makes any sense. So make them as human as possible. That makes them more likable, relatable. Yes, give them flaw. Yeah, give them weaknesses and vulnerable moments and inner conflicts, like their own inner dialogues, and, you know, just show their struggle and show their pain. It's just so deeper than you think it is. Like, I'm still thinking about it, and the more I go into it, the more it just unfolds itself. But a character can be so important, not just to the story, but just to yourself as well, you know. Because I've given my characters from the past or now so many of my own character traits, and like in every phase that I was a few years ago or just now, I'm giving them these like character traits, and every single time I read back those books and those lines, I kind of find myself again in it, and it's just so cool to have that, you know. But yeah, just not making them perfect is the key, if that makes any sense, to making them real. Yeah. So to write better dialogue. Yeah, like there's been so many times where I've like had conversations with my family members or with my friends, and I just felt that this conversation is so good, and I just went home and wrote it down. and then I added it in my book. That's so cool. And it felt so natural, it felt so real. And I've had like my friends or my family members coming to me and saying, whoa, you actually like added into your book. And it just felt so real. So like making your dialogues as simple, as realistic as possible is what makes good dialogue, because that's when people can relate to the character speaking. You know, there was a scene from Pulp Fiction, you know, where Jules and Vincent are, no, was it Jules? Yeah, or was it? Yeah. So they're having a conversation about awkward silence. No, it was Uma Thurman's character. What was her name? Mia. Mia and Vincent. They're having a conversation about awkward silence, and that's just so cool, because at the exact time I was thinking about, oh, how awkward is this situation with, you know, her just sitting there and him sitting there, and it's just like, you know, it's awkward. And I was just thinking about it, and she just said it. And that's how you know how like dialogues can affect your book, your story so much, because the more you make it human, the more relatable it will be for people, the more likable it will be for people. And it's just really cool. But yeah, I just sometimes add like my own like family thing, family talking to my like to my dialogues. Just for example, whenever I come home, my mom always asks, "Are you home?" You know? And I just say, "No, I'm on the way." Just in a sarcastic way, but I just added it in my book. And that just makes it relatable, you know? That just makes it human. And that makes your characters more human, that makes your, you know, your dialogues better, and it just helps a lot. So yeah, that was it. Yeah. So what am I doing here? It's getting more and more like kind of not as soon, but it's just getting more and more comfortable for me to talk to you guys, and that's cool. That's really good, because every single time I just sit here and like do this, I'm kind of feeling like I'm talking to someone, to my friend, or like to anyone who needs, like, they're on their way to write. I'm like Zoom calling, whatever. And it's just so good to have these platforms where you can just go and give like people advices or just document your journey, you know. So I'm grateful for this video. I'm grateful for the fact that I talked here for 20 minutes. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.